Going on, everybody? This is Chris from Crit One and Done. Welcome back to Talking Crit. It's our series where we sit down with fellow TTRPGers, content creators, just like to get to know them, talk about their stuff, and generally just nerd out. It's a good time. Welcome. Tonight, very excited to have our guest, Mike from the Weathered Dragon. If you don't know Mike or the Weathered Dragon, he is big in the custom TTRPG table design sector, if you want to call it. So we're super pumped to be sitting down with him, talking about all his table creations and generally how he got into it. And we'll see where the conversation goes. But let me bring him on. 1 second, everybody. He should be on shortly. But just thanks to everybody for tuning in. Super pumped to be having this little get together with Mike tonight. And he is on. Bring him on the stream. There he is.
Bring him on the stream.
What's up, Mike?
How you doing?
Great to see you. Welcome.
You too. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking your time and sitting down to shoot the shit, as they say.
Oh yeah. Love nerding out.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Absolutely. I'm drinking some water. I'm a little parched right now. All right, let me get down to business. Again, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let me just do a quick shout out to all our sponsors. We'll start with the OG for Crit One and Done, WizardWorks. That's our buddy Dylan. Visit WizardWorks to check out all his custom TTRPG D&D accessories. He makes everything from custom dice trays to rugs. He even does the custom TV, tabletop TV setups. If you use our code Crit One and Done, you get 10% off any order. As always, WizardWorks. Thank you, Dylan. Next, we have Legendary Realms Terrain. Rich has been great to us. Rich helped us out at our first convention over at Long Island Tabletop. He owns and runs Legendary Realms Terrain. He pre-paints a bunch of terrain and accessories. They're all gaming ready for your board. Excellent quality materials. Got a bunch of stuff that we use in our own games. And as always, use our code Crit One and Done, and you will get 10% off any order. Next, we have Designs by Moonshine. She makes custom dice sets. Excellent quality. You could work with her to design your own custom set. This time, use Crit One and Done 10 for 10% off any order. And lastly is Geek Haven. They make awesome D&D and TTRPG, generally nerdy clothes and accessories. Use our code Crit One and Done for 10% off any order. All right, now let's get down to business. What's up, Mike?
What's up?
Did you hear me by chance when I was doing all that?
I did.
All right, good.
Loud and clear.
Like I said, I've done this several times, but I don't know if you're familiar with Streamlabs. It could be a little wonky sometimes with all the different settings. So
yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, I mean it's great. It's super easy to use, but sometimes we run into some technical difficulties, as they say.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Yep. So yeah, welcome. So before I actually start talking to you about your awesome tables, let's get to know you a little bit.
What do you want to know?
What do I want to know? Everything. So I do have to apologize, though. I feel really bad that I didn't get to actually say hi. It's this Long Island Tabletop. I know some of the other guys got a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, they did. It's it happens. We get busy. We get tied up in our stuff at these cons.
Yeah, I mean, it was our first convention. We only visited last year for the first time, and then boom, second row year, and we're running games. So
that's cool. How'd it go for you guys? Killed it?
Oh, dude, it was a blast.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've never played D&D with like strangers, so excuse me. It was a lot of fun. Just be able to show everybody off all our cool terrain and minis and the story that we created, and everybody had a blast. So
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, generally smooth. A couple people didn't show. We shun them now. I'm just kidding. But it was great because the convention, brought people in that just wanted to play. We had people sit down, and we even had some extras. We weren't going to say no. Come play. Come sit.
Oh yeah.
We'll just tweak the fights a little bit.
Cool.
But yeah, it was great, and we're coming back next year, bigger and
Awesome.
better, hopefully. Um, but yeah, so my first question to you.
Shoot.
Let's take it all the way back. What's the first
How far
time?
back?
Oh, let's go far back. Uh, what's the first time like a game, whether it's D&D, a video game, like really clicked for you? Like, was the gateway game for you D&D, or how did this evolve into like a lifelong passion for you?
Oh, the gateway drug was Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragonlance. That was my that was definitely my gateway drug, as I like to call it. So,
Nice. No, that's awesome. Yeah, we only started our whole D&D journey like a little over 2 years ago, so we're
oh wow,
relatively we're newbies in this whole universe.
you guys are babies.
Yeah, and all we know is 2024 rule set. Well, actually, we did play our first campaign was 2014, but now we're full on 5e or
All right.
5.5 if you want to say.
Yeah, man, I'm old. I started with AD&D with Thaco.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I would love to dabble and check out the older rule sets and mess around with them, but it's the timing thing for us, man. Like it's hard enough getting four schedules aligned to play our sessions,
Oh yeah,
but
it's the scheduling beast is real.
oh yeah, big time. But we make it work. uh Now as far as your TTRPG career goes, are you are you a GM DM? Are you a player? Are you a mix of both?
Both,
What's your role?
both. When I got back into D&D about 8 or so years ago, I'm one of those played when I was younger,
Hmm.
14 to maybe 17, 18, and then took the 25-year hiatus and had kids of my own. My oldest started getting into Magic the Gathering, took him to the local game store. He's playing, I'm walking around, I see the 2014 starter set, and it all came flooding back.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say that, pretty much pretty much us starting this was basically, just kind of a fluke almost. You know, went from obsessed with Baldur's Gate 3 to, hey, do you guys want to play actual D&D?
Right. That's
So
cool.
yeah, that's how it pretty much just evolved for us. It was quick and quick, what's the word I'm looking for? Quick and bloody. I don't know. We went fast paced, just right into it. We dove right into it.
Jumped right off the
Um,
cliff.
yeah, pretty much. Um, but would you say you're more of a player or more of a DM? Like what do you prefer?
I'm lately mostly player, getting back into it. I was DMing a lot because my kids, they didn't really know how to play or what they were doing. So going back 8 years ago, I DM for the first couple years and then took more of a player role. My oldest son is out in Texas, and he came back with his wife, and I ran a game for them. But holy crap, it is definitely I had to shake the dust off.
Nice.
Because yeah, that's DMing is a skill that you have to hone, regularly as you play. The better you get as a DM. So it was a little glitchy, but it was okay. But it could have been better.
No, I definitely hear you. I mean, us here at Crit One and Done, we rotate DMs. So, one of us will start a campaign, be the DM, and then next campaign we're a player.
Cool.
So we're kind of
That's a
all
good
over
way
the
to do it.
place. Yeah. But I was the guinea pig with this whole streaming thing. I was the first one to be the DM for the stream, so it was a little nerve wracking, but we're loving it. It's fun. It's fun getting
Cool.
to meet people like you and have this community on our side. Everyone's been super friendly, super generous, and it's a blast.
It is. It absolutely is.
mean, I was gonna say we have a mutual friend, Drew from Team Drew's Basement.
Drew, he's a punk.
Yeah, it's funny, he lives 15 minutes from us, local Long Island guy, and grew up in the same town my wife did, actually. And yeah, we met him last year at the convention, met you at the convention last year, and been in touch with him ever since. And he actually came and play tested our one shot that we did at the convention this year.
Okay.
Super fun dude, he's
Yeah,
really
no,
into it.
Drew. I was just teasing. I love Drew. He's we have become really good friends. We really clicked, and he's helping me out a lot with the charity game that I'm organizing for Gen Con this year. So I don't know if you want to lead into that since I mentioned it. I don't want to jump your questions, but
No, not at all.
yeah,
This is so fluid. Like, I mean, yes, I have questions, but we're just chilling, like, and yeah, like, tell me about it. What's going on with the charity game?
cool. We are organizing a D&D live play charity game at Gen Con 2026 this year, August 1st, at the Basil Theater. I think that's how you pronounce it. Basil, Basile, Basil Theater at the Athenaeum in downtown Indy. It's a historic theater, really cool place. I was there last year to see the Glass Cannon podcast do their live play.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's once the ball started rolling for this charity game. I'm like, I want to do that theater. Let's do that theater. So
That's sick.
I took the leap of faith, booked the theater, made the deposit with literally nothing else. Like, I'm gonna book the
Nothing
theater and
planned.
we're just gonna make this happen.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So
That's the best way to do it, No plan.
but the seed was put in my head by Spencer Waddell from Simply Samurai is his handle. I met him at Gen Con last year and we got to talking, and he wants to get more into the TTRPG community. He's an armored MMA fighter. The dude gets in the ring with full armor and they beat the hell out of each other with swords and axes.
Oh, hell yeah. I like watching
It's
that
a good time. So that's what he does, but he's getting a little older. He's not a spring chicken, so he does, he knows he's beating the shit out of himself. So he's got to, take a little more calmer route, as he gets into his elder years. So he really wants to break into the TTRPG community. So my wheels started turning. So he mentioned live play, and then charity. I'm like, well, if we do this for charity, I think it'd be easier to get people on board. And yeah, that was definitely the way to go because we got some really cool talent involved right now.
That's awesome. What charity are you doing it for?
The Children's Advocacy Centers of North Carolina. I live in North Carolina. The reason we chose that charity, I had got custody of my, at the time, 7-month-old nephew back in October 2025. Which we now have legal guardianship of. So, he had a pretty bad situation with mom. So we took him in. So that's kind of why we lean towards that charity, because they become a voice for the voiceless for kids when they need it. So I figured that was perfect. So that's why we
That's awesome. Them. Great cause, and you're going to have a blast doing it too, which is best of both
heck
worlds.
Yeah. It's going to be a hoot.
I was going to say that, we're so new at all this that we're aware of all these conventions, but we're just we're trying to prep ourselves. We're trying to get out there more. We've only done LITTE, but we have been invited to. There's an expo or convention in Philly that I know. I think Drew's participating in. It's coming January. I believe.
Yep, I'll be there too. I'm going.
Oh, awesome. Well, I think we're in. Cool. We submitted, we're going to submit our application, but we are trying to do a kind of a similar setup to what we had at LITTE with like a 3-table, multi-table story going on. If they have the room for it, great. If not, hey, we'll make do. We'll figure it out. But they like what they saw. There was a guy. I apologize, I forget his name, but he was a representative from the convention, and we got to talking to him, and he said he'd love to have us. So.
Okay.
We're
cool.
definitely excited for that. But we'd love to do Gen Con, we'd love to do Gary Con, we'd love to do PAX U, but we just
Bro, I've been trying to get into PAX for the past 4 years, and I keep getting the same friggin' stupid response every year. That PAX is like, man, and I thought I had a couple back doors for a couple options for, hey, can you talk to the organizers? Oh, sure, like big name people that I've made relationships with, and still I can't get in that bitch.
Yeah, I know that we have like zero shot of getting in as like a game runner, but I mean, we just want to go and just check it out, see what it's
Right.
all about.
Yep.
It looks awesome. Everything I've seen about it. So,
It's a good
uh,
time.
excuse me 1 second. Alexa, D&D light on. There we go. A little better lighting. There we go. Got the high tech setup over here, with my Alexa.
Look at you. I don't have any clap on stuff here.
I mean, what's behind you looks pretty sick, though. I gotta say.
Yeah, that's all my adventures sitting behind me.
Let
Everything on
me
the wall, all the pieces, they all, most of them hold the story. Like they're not just random.
decoration. Yeah,
They're there for a reason.
that's awesome. Quick question: the wall in that room, is that like a custom design, or is that just like regular wall? I can't really see.
Oh no, it's a regular wall. There's just a lot of shit on
Okay.
it.
No, lately we've been looking into some room upgrades. We got some stuff in the works, but I've been seeing these like I'm sure you've seen it in like people's setups. So they have like a paneling along the
Yep.
walls, like faux stone or something like that.
Yep.
So it's something that we're considering.
Yep.
We got our little tavern background on the other half of the room, but we kind of want to go a little crazier.
Cool. I don't know if you could see the ceiling, but the wood on the ceiling, that's reclaimed barn wood. It ranges from 1.5 to 2 inches thick, all rough sawn. It's all wonky as hell, but man, it looks so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. It gives it like more authentic, like medieval feel. That's sick.
Yes, it does.
That's awesome. Um, Let me ask about your business. That's what we're here for too, right?
Yeah. What do you want to know?
So between running Weather Dragon, designing the tables, it's kind of also going to what we were talking about, just like your background. What are you playing lately? Are you involved in an active D&D campaign? Are you playing any other TTRPGs?
Negative. I almost feel like I don't want to say a poser. There's another word. Like because I play every couple months. I can squeeze into a game or have something at the house, but yeah, I don't play as much as I should. This table business is pretty overwhelming when you're pretty much a one man show.
Gotcha. No, that's awesome though. I mean, uh, I would think it's pretty fulfilling. I would think that what you're doing is making a lot of people happy. And I feel like just overall, from what we've seen, in person, it's incredible. It's incredible work. And
Thank you.
now, when you do get to play, though, are you hosting? Are you playing at other people's places? I mean,
Uh, it's here when we play. I have a lot of my local friends are DMs, professional DMs. So they'll run and I'll play. It For the most part, that's how that works. My buddy Chris runs the Rogue Game Masters, and he gets games set up in all the local breweries around here. So it's been a while, but when I can, like I'll join it. I'll head out and jump in one of those games at the breweries. But yeah, my D&D playing is a little lackluster, I'm sad to say, as of late.
oh, who's this in here? Is that who I think it is? Oh, Drew is in here. Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Sidebar, because you mentioned breweries. I am a big craft beer guy. And I know the Carolina beer scene is pretty good. I've not gotten down there myself, but I have partaken in a lot of Carolina breweries. What breweries are you talking about? Because I probably know them.
I'm in Northeast North Carolina. Closest major city to me is Elizabeth City. We have Ghost Harbor Brewing and Seven Sounds. Those are the two big ones in East City. I don't know if there's any other ones. Like when you get into Asheville, like that's 6 hours west of here, though. Well, actually, Raleigh too. I'm sure Raleigh. That's about less than 3 hours. But I'm pretty rural where I'm at. I'm right on the
Gotcha.
border of Virginia. So Chesapeake, Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach, like that. There's a whole crap ton of breweries up that
Nice.
way.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the ones like Asheville area. I think Burial is Asheville, if I'm not mistaken. They're a big one out there.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with them out there.
Okay. But I wish I mean we have in our area like a good amount of like game stores that are running D&D. But I don't think any breweries are doing it. Maybe tap into that market. Make some phone calls, you know? Um
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say our big thing though is that we have we stress using well, at least we try to. Because I enjoy the shit out of painting all our stuff. But you know we use a lot of terrain and minis when we play. Um, so it'd be awesome to take this on the road, but it would also be a huge pain in the ass to like bring everything along with us. Um, I mean, I don't know if you got a chance to see our setup this year, but you know we had to lug in and lug out a lot of shit. So it's
I
not.
saw
It's
you guys had a table set up, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't think I've seen you guys actually play.
okay. Yeah, because we did it on 3 tables. So, you know, the story would start at the first one, and then as the story would progress, we'd move to each other table,
Okay.
um, culminating in a castle siege, which is dope as hell.
Cool.
um, but yeah, you know, we're trying to figure out, you know, how we can get our stuff out there to more people and get more people involved because I know there's a lot of people that love D&D. We've had a lot of messages of people wanting to play, but in all honesty, you know, we play in my house, and I'm not just trying to bring completely random strangers into the home, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's
um,
creepy. We
yeah,
did. I
exactly.
actually rented my room out twice for bachelorette. One was a bachelorette party. I forgot what the other one was. And they were pretty much strangers for the most part. So that was pretty nerve wracking, but it was cool. It was a good time.
I mean, hey, they paid you, so
Yep.
I was gonna say, you know, we did propose the idea of running paid games here. Um, but you know, it's still the concept of having random people show up, you know, walking through my
Right.
living room to get down into the D&D room.
Yep.
But yeah, we're having a blast just playing ourselves. We have guest stars on. You know, we've had Drew come play test with us. We got to get him on a live stream though. We've had one of our sponsors, Dylan from WizardWorks. I don't know if you had met him. I think he was set up relatively close to you this year at LITTE.
I
Um,
from the first year, I do remember his booth. We did meet, but it was just quick. Hey,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
no, he's good people, and I mean he has one of the coolest booth setups at the expo. So,
cool.
um, let's see. Oh, the table that you do play on behind you. Which table is that?
That's the Harbinger. That's the very first model. This isn't the very first one that I
Hmm.
made. This is the third one to be in here. But it is the Harbinger.
Nice, awesome. Um, and then segueing into that, um, where did you come up with the idea to start Weather Dragon? What inspired you? You know, let's go with that.
Getting back into D&D about 8 or so years ago. My brain is literally behind me. Like I can't do anything simple. So once we started getting back into it, I'm like, man, we need I want a cool table to play on. So I started gathering, jotting down all the ideas. What do I want in a table? And I'm a big ambiance guy. I love rustic wood. I love flickering torches and lanterns. So the post in the lantern is what started the idea of the table. That's what I wanted first. Then it was I want bar stool height because you're playing for hours. Kick the stool back, stand up for a little bit. It's a perfect standing height table. I want the players to have plenty of room to actually put stuff, not 5 inches. So There's plenty of room for your laptop, your iPads, your character sheets. I wanted power on the post because everybody's, not everybody, but you got your D&D Beyond users, your digital dice rollers, whatever. So outlets on each post for everybody to keep your outlets charged, to keep your phones charged.
Yeah, you gotta charge your phones for your wife yelling at you to get home after a 6 hour
Yeah,
D&D session.
there's that. I'm not a huge DM screen guy, so that's where the recess DM area came in. So if you didn't want to use screen, you got a little bit of privacy. You can roll, close to the edge, and that little 4-inch dip will, hide your rolls. But it's good too if you do use the DM screen to keep it on the recess side. Now the DM screen's 3.5 inches ish, lower because you're not sitting on the actual table surface. So you're not doing this, and you're not as separated from the player. So it makes it a little bit more convenient in that route too.
Yeah, awesome. I'm gonna show. I'm just gonna pull up the screen. You're gonna lose the video for a second, but this is the Harbinger table that he was talking about. First like iteration of that, which is I love the rustic look of that, which is dope. Um, so yeah, you said you wanted to go that rusted look on the Harbinger. Like, I mean, I love the distressed wood look. And did that have any like electronics built into it, or was it just like the table itself?
Yeah, that one had the LEDs in the game vault were standard, but that was it at the time. It has evolved to the the cubbies in the DM side over the years. But it had outlets, so yeah, it had all the base ideas in the first one.
Okay, cool. And I was gonna say, like, generally, like, where do you think you're drawing your inspiration from? Like specific films, video games, architectural styles that are kind of influencing the look of what you have in your brand?
Uh, I think it's just fantasy in general, medieval, like that. Nothing specific, no specific movie or video game. It's just the genre in whole, the fantasy. I just wanted it to look medieval as hell.
Nice. Um, and yeah, I probably should have asked this question already, but do you have a background in construction, carpentry, any of that stuff?
Hmm. Um, I was a home improvement contractor before I was a table guy.
Okay,
So,
makes sense,
so I can literally actually the where I'm sitting right now is an addition to our home. We hired the foundation guys and the framers only because they framed it in a weekend. It would have took me a month. So we just, but everything else, they walked away. I did the flooring, the drywall, the electric, the plumbing. I did everything in here. So I
Nice. That's awesome.
could, if I had the time, I could build a house from the ground up, and it will not fall down either.
You do work in Long Island?
I'm from New Jersey originally, so not Long
Oh, nice.
Island, but
Whereabouts,
I
if you don't
did a
mind me
lot of.
asking?
I was born in South Amboy, New Jersey,
Oh, shit.
but pretty much, but raised in Perth Amboy, just at the base of the Outer Bridge
Okay,
crossing.
my really good friend, roommate from college, I think, is from South Amboy, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So it's small world. It's funny.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm a lifelong New Yorker. I always tell people, I mean, pretty much grew up. I went from west to east. Born and raised in Brooklyn, moved a county over to Nassau. Oh no, excuse me, moved a county over to Queens, then another county over to Nassau County, and now I'm in Suffolk County. So just doing the slow trickle out until I'm into the Atlantic Ocean.
You're gonna be in Cape Cod soon.
Yeah. That's a bit north of here, but yeah, you get the point. um,
Cool.
yeah, I was gonna say for a first table, I was thinking you had some sort of construction or craft background because doesn't look too DIY if you know what I'm saying.
No, it's you gotta have a little bit of a skill set before you take on a project like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, in general though, have you built like furniture before or?
I have. I definitely have. Yeah, so it was definitely not my first project in woodworking per se.
Okay. And also, I guess segueing into that, your workshop in your home? Do you have a separate location for that, or?
It's at the house. Sad to report that it is my two-car garage currently. I
Okay,
have
nice.
been chomping at the bit for. I live on about an acre of property we have, so I have the room to put a detached building in the back, but the stars are just not aligning for that to happen just yet. But soon, it's coming soon, and once I can do that, man, because we do we me a table a month is the allotted time I give a customer if they're interested. They put a deposit down and they get the next month in line is how that works. So I'm so inefficient in where I'm at now because it's so small. So it's I'm in this phase, got to put everything away, clean up, go into the next phase, and it just it wastes so much time. So if I had the bigger shop where I had a room for that phase, a room for that phase, proper vacuum equipment and dust filtration,
Hmm.
and like it would just be because I can't tell you how many hours are just in cleaning, just blowing out the garage,
Yeah, you want
vacuuming, like it's
like an assembly line kind of deal. I get it.
yeah, yeah, that's
Now I was gonna say, I know you mentioned it briefly before, but you said one man team. You're the only one building the tables, though.
correct. Correct.
Okay.
I have plenty of help for everything outside of that.
Hmm.
My son, Matthew, he's good with a program called Onshape. So when a new design comes in, we'll sit at the computer, it will design that up. My neighbor, he loves what I'm doing. My neighbor Robert, he loves going to conventions, so he's one of my con guys. My buddy Kenya comes to the cons with me. My buddy Chris comes to the cons with me. So I have plenty of help and other people to keep me moving. But yeah, but the hustle is real for sure.
No, that's awesome. I mean, even our small little operation here, Crit One and Done. We're all good at our own things. Mike's our quote unquote social media expert. Um, we all dabble in the tech side of things, but I wouldn't say any one of us is a specific tech guy. But we try to make do. Um, I'm the resident painter. I'm the only one that paints or has the patience to paint.
Right.
Um, Mike's done a few pieces. To be honest, they're not great, but thank you, Mike, if you're watching right now. I'm throwing so much
Wow.
shade at you, but let's be real. You know you're not good. I love you though. Yeah, I mean, I got into the painting like it's funny. I always tell people my mother was actually a professional artist. She did textile design her whole life and super talented woman. I inherited none of her artistic talent.
How does
I
that
think
happen?
I don't know. When it comes to drawing, it's like stick figures, and dogs that don't look like dogs. I don't know. They just have like bubble feet and stuff like that. But yeah, when it comes to painting the miniatures and the terrain and stuff, I honestly think it's like I have the patience for it. It relaxes me. I have my alone time. Throw on some music, throw on a podcast, and just veg
Hell
out and
yeah.
paint. That's my deal. That's my talent, I would say. Um, and it's an evolving process. Like by no means do I think I'm an expert. I've only been doing it 2 years, um, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it, and I just want to get better. And Drew knows this, but I just entered in Drew's painting competition for my first
Oh, nice.
competition.
I think
Um,
I'm going to be a judge in that.
oh boy, uh-oh. I also didn't tell Drew, like, not that I'm done with the piece that I'm working on, but I made some good progress with it, and I'm kind of just doing some detail on it right now. Um, but hey, we'll see what happens. I don't think I'm going to win, but I think it's
Cool.
going to be fun regardless. Um, yeah, I was going to also say that you mentioned this also, like you a little bit of like the order process. So you're saying person places the order, they're getting the table the next month. That's a lot quicker than I thought. Like with the intricacies of what you do, that's
Right.
awesome.
Well, it's not necessarily the next month, it's the next month in line, the next opening. Like
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm actually in really good shape right now. I only have September and December left open for this year.
Okay.
Every other month from now to the end of the year is booked except those two.
Nice. Nice. Um, Now, would you say that you're shipping most of your stuff or you're delivering most of your stuff?
It's It's a healthy mix,
Mhm.
because I'm not afraid of driving. I am definitely a road warrior for sure.
Nice.
I'll drive up to 10 hours for delivery. So I've delivered to Connecticut twice. I've delivered to Georgia. Um, Couple in the DC area. That's only like 4 hours for me, so that's a cakewalk. So there's a lot of it's I don't want to, it's hard to say if it's 50-50, but it's a lot of deliveries and mostly shipping, I guess.
Now I saw your truck and your trailer outside of the convention this year. Is that what you're using on the road or?
Oh yeah, when I go to cons, that's how I get the tables to the shipping terminal also.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say also like poking around your site, seeing how everything gets shipped, I was like, that's pretty crazy. Like I've never personally ordered anything that large. Um, but I would imagine like you have to work with like a specific shipping company for something like this, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's freight, it's logistics. I have a broker that I deal with. When I got one ready to go, I email him. These are the crate specs. Wait, where it's going, customer info. He sends me to BOL, the bill of lading. That's what I need to present to the terminal once I get there.
Hmm.
I have a pallet jack. That's how I get the 750-pound crates out of the trailer, onto the ground. Then they come with the forklift, and it goes bye bye, and I never see it again.
I imagine with the design and the construction, might get a little attached to the work sometimes, right?
It's yeah, yep, that's real. That's definitely real. Especially with the newer ones. And I when they're finished and I step back and look at them like, this one's really cool.
If only I had room for like every single table in my own house.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I tell people I wouldn't be able to afford my own tables. I don't know how, but it's unfortunately it is for people with a lot of excess cash flow for sure.
The FU money.
Yes, that.
Dude, I mean, not for nothing. The work speaks for itself. I mean, it's super, super detailed, intricate. Like it's amazing work. I'm not just tooting your own horn. Like I've seen it in person, and
Thank you.
like I also said like we haven't been involved in this world for too long, so like we haven't seen too many custom tables in our time. Um, but your stuff speaks for itself, dude. It's sick.
Um, I'm on par for a lot of the premium tables that are out there. Wormwood charges 10 grand for their prophecy, which is their premium, and it's pretty, but it's I hate to say it, but it's just a table. Like like where I have the lighting, the ambiance, and the power. There's just none of that. So for
Mm,
I start at 10.5. The tables are way bigger, so there's way more room. Um, a lot of usable functions. You're getting the ambiance, you're getting the power, you're getting the lighting. Scott from Paladin Woodworking, solid dude. We're friends. He does the Durance anvil. It's a hexagon with the game vault that raises and lowers. I
mm.
believe his start at 11.5. So I'm right there. I'm in the middle. So it's just that's where the hustle comes in, going to the cons, especially Gen Con. Because in my head, the ballers, the dudes with the money that are in the market, they're going to Gen Con to see the 10, 12 different game table vendors. So they want to see what's out there. So
Now, I was gonna say that, do you know, I don't know if you know the exact number or off the top of your head, like how many custom table companies in the US are there?
that I don't know, but there's a lot. There's a lot for sure. There's probably only a few very well known ones, but there's a lot of small shops like me out there. There's a lot.
Yeah, and it's funny, like I've seen some of these table companies, advertised on whether it's, you know how the algorithm works with a lot of things these
Hmm.
days. So,
Once
you
you
look
click
up,
on one, then they keep coming.
yeah. So, even looking at some of your stuff, it's led me to some other, just advertisements popping up and whatnot. But I can't believe like honestly how much some people are charging for like what looks to be garbage. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's like a poker table with a few bells and whistles for like a grand. It's like, come on. um
Yeah, I scratch my head. When- because they're a lot of money. You can get a used car for what you're paying for this table, but it's my time and the material alone for the table behind me. It's got an upgrade on the hardwood and the torches are an upgrade, but the
Mhm.
material alone is probably $3,000 just for the material behind me.
Yeah, yeah.
So and then when it takes 2 to 3 weeks to assemble and build all the parts and put it together, well, that's why it costs $10,000.
Now I was going to ask you. I know you mentioned like you wanted the bigger shop to kind of like have a separate area for each like implement or each component of the table. When you're doing it now, though, are you ordering the materials you need and then going piece by piece, or like in other words, when someone places an order, do you have certain like materials on deck, like ready to be assembled into a table? Like how does that process work?
When somebody's interested and they're like, "Yep, I'm in. What do we got to do?" They pay a deposit. $1,000 deposit holds their spot in line their month. So if the
Hmm.
next available is September, they jump into the September slot. A couple weeks before their build starts, I'll send out an invoice for 60%. Then when that money comes in, that's when I start getting the hardwood, all the plywood, all the cedar, all the lights, all that's when I start ordering everything at that point. So to answer your question, no, I really don't keep much inventory of anything. If if I can get a deal on some of the stuff that I normally use for the tables and I can get it in bulk, then yeah, I will. But again, because of space, I'm limited. I can't do too much.
Gotcha, makes sense. Now I was gonna say when you first started Weathered Dragon, it's a pretty massive jump, obviously, going from someone who enjoys the hobby, enjoys D&D, TTRPGs in general, to then starting this company, building these crazy tables. Like, talk to me about like the first 6 months to a year of like when you started. How long have you been doing it?
January 2020 is when I officially made the Weather Dragon a business, like a legit
Hmm.
business. Well, went to the IRS, got my EIN, and and all that good stuff. So yeah, so it's been just over 6 years. I guess let me talk on how that even happened. Because when I built that first table, it was for us. That was it. It wasn't supposed to go any further than that.
Yeah, yeah.
So my buddy Matt Gatto, he was part of my original when I got back into it, was running games. He was part of that group when I first got back into it. So once I built that table and he saw it and he's like, Mike, you really got to show this to the world. You can't keep this to yourself. so so he's pretty much responsible for I don't want to say pushing me, but putting that bug in my ear. I'm like, all right, what I got to lose, I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. And it was it's a hustle. It's not easy. But I just kept going and kept pushing, and one good thing came, and then another good thing came, and so I'm sorry, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna stick with this. And now, 6 years later, I'm organizing a live play charity D&D event. I'm hosting it also. I'm going to be the first face they see on stage that night. I'm going to be introducing the players, the charity, myself, all the sponsors. And I can announce we haven't officially announced on social media yet, but talking with the team, the organizing team, they said it was okay to do this. But Luke Gygax is our DM for the event.
That's friggin' awesome.
Yep. But
um,
again, from a relationship at Gen Con 2022 is where I met Luke the first time. He saw the table, the booth. I was chatting with him, gave him the elevator pitch, as I do every other customer. He was digging it. He signed the table, which is this table behind me. His signature, among like 40 others, are on that table behind me.
that's sick.
We took a selfie. He's like, "Hey, can you text me that?" And I'm like, "Text you that?" I'm thinking airdrop, maybe Instagram, send it to him.
Hmm.
He gave me his phone number. So text him. I
Sure.
texted. So yes. So I've had
What's
Luke
up, Luke?
Gygax's phone number for the past 4 years. So I've been going to GaryCon for 3 years now. So we know each other. He knows me. He knows who I am. So when I started started the ball rolling with the charity event. I'm like, I wanted Anjali Bhamani to run the event initially. I was chatting with her. She was open to it, but she's busy as heck. And she finally at Gary Con, she told me that she wouldn't be able to do it. So then that's when I presented it to Luke, and he was all for it.
That's amazing. Um, yeah, I was going to say, with the live play charity event, will that be live stream on any particular platforms or?
Yes, it's going to be live streamed, and then once it's over, obviously dumped on YouTube somewhere. I don't know where that is or where that's going to be. But as it gets closer, the link and all the information for all that will be on our. There is a website. There's a Sentinels of the Shield list, which is the name of the charity. All that information will be on there for that as well.
Awesome. Are you allowed to talk about what type of game this is or any kind of story behind it?
Uh, yeah, I could if I knew. Because
Okay, all right.
Luke is going to write it, the adventure, and he hasn't as of yet. Obviously, it's still pretty fresh into it. So yeah, unfortunately there's nothing to say there.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Now I was also going to ask you, let's see. Mm, Oh, well, I mean, I guess we could segue into this question. So, and if you can't answer it, I completely understand. But going from, big name like Luke Gygax, have you made tables for anybody else we may know?
Todd Stashwick is my biggest name customer. Do you know Todd?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep, that's my guy.
That's awesome. Um, yeah, I was gonna say that what I mean, I don't know how familiar you get with your clients or your customers, but is there like a typical client or customer? Like, do you know anything about their backgrounds or?
As for I get pretty close with the majority of my customers because uh, it's a process. There's a lot of back and forth with the customizations, especially when it
Hmm.
comes to new designs. And every design that's on my website has stemmed from the customer wanting something else. So it does get personal. Oh my God, my first sale from Gen Con 2021, Jason and Stephanie Williams. I went to California 2 years ago for Mysticon. I stayed with them like at their house, like, and I talked to them on a regular basis. Stephanie is a
It's
blacksmith.
awesome.
She's making a sword and shield for us for our live play for the auction to auction off those items. So I am still in touch with them. It's wild. In essence, to become when when somebody puts a deposit down, I usually end it with "Welcome to the Weather Dragon family," because that's kind of like what it's starting to stem into.
Yeah, that's crazy. People spending their hard-earned money on something like this, and they're getting, real. I was gonna ask you too, like part of the design process, like you're probably getting a lot of feedback from the client, what they're particularly looking for and like what their style is, and so I'd say it seems to be a pretty intimate process, in other words.
It is. It absolutely is. And even just yesterday, I had to drive up to DC. Excuse me. One of my customers up there moved, and he paid me to pack his table up and bring it to the new house. When I did that, now he never alerted me or let me know. I guess he just never really noticed or paid attention. I see things, a lot quicker with my own tables than I guess other people would, but it had some issues. Nothing from um, the craftsman side of it. The hardwoods just started getting weird and separating in spots, so I had to go back up there and do some warranty work. But again, it's my product. I have to stand behind it and make it right. So it just
No,
sucks, but
yeah, that speaks volumes. Like, following up with the customer and making sure their investments tip top shape. That's great.
yep. if I want to keep doing this, it's what I have to do. It's not an option to not do it.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, this day and age, a lot of people don't guarantee their work. They're, quick sale and get the hell out of here. See you later. I made my money.
Yeah, there was one of my customers in Connecticut. Yeah, he was very just, this is what I want, great, done, and I never heard from him again when it was when it was over. And that's fine if that's what, it's not like for me lack of trying. Like, 'cause I
Mhm.
did reach out to him a couple times afterwards and never even got a response. So okay,
Yeah.
see you
Hope
later.
you hope you're enjoying your table.
All right. But it is what it is. You're not, some people just look at it as a straight business transaction, and that's fine because that's what it
Mhm.
is. But I'm pretty cool. I'm cool with people. I if you want a better, more relationship, and then I'm here, whatever. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess like the question I asked before, like their background. Are these mostly D&D players that are purchasing these tables? I mean, what would you say
I'm
the
gonna say for
majority
the
of your
most
clients are?
part, yes, yes, they are. One of the tables I sent out was a Harbinger with no recess DM side. He's like, he said, I don't do a lot of role playing games or D&D. He's just into a lot of the bigger board games like Gloomhaven, and I don't know if Catan is really big in PC, but
Yeah,
um
I get what you're saying though. More of a board
but
gamer though.
he didn't want the DM side because they just didn't run a lot of D&D. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, every customer is absolutely unique in what they do and what they want, for sure.
Yeah, makes sense. Um, Now, besides, what is Drew talking? I'm unique. Yeah, we know you're unique, Drew, and we love you for it.
To Drew.
Man, I don't have any. My
So
cold cup
Drew's
is
playing a
stowed
huge
away.
role for this charity game. Can you hear me?
Hear you.
I think
Assuming
you
Drew
got
can
me.
hear you. Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay. Drew is organizing and putting together the program for the charity event. We're going to have a physical printed program, and Drew's doing all the artwork, organizing everybody's bios, the sponsor ads, and all that stuff. So,
Hell
thank you,
yeah,
Drew.
Drew. Good shit, man. Um, we know Reps and Respawns. Hi, Kaylee. um, yeah, I was gonna say. So besides LITT and Gen Con, what other conventions you're attending regularly? Throughout the year.
Gary Con, page is going to be new for next year. I do D&D in a castle. That's not really a convention, but that's in Loudonville, Ohio. I've been doing that the past 2 years. I'll be there again this year. Um, I actually have a table permanently there, so I, an official sponsor for US D&D in a castle, not across the pond
I was
in
gonna say,
Europe.
yeah, I didn't think it was the UK version, but
Right.
I
But
also
for
didn't
here,
know. Yeah, I didn't know where the US one was based, but it's Ohio. You said.
yep,
That's cool.
it's in Ohio. The Landell's Mohican Castle in Ohio.
That's awesome. And that's
Yep.
like a
And
that's a full weekend event, right?
uh it's weird. Because D&D in a castle, they literally are renting the entire grounds. They do it more in the beginning of the week, not weekends. I guess
Okay.
obviously to be more cost effective. It's more like Sunday to Thursday, or more or less. So it's like somewhere around there.
Yeah. How long is each particular event though? Is it that long? It's that many days or?
Three to 4 days of gaming.
Okay.
I gotta be honest with you, because the first session of D&D in the castle always conflicts with my family Fourth of July vacation, so I have to
Mm,
dip out a few days earlier, so I don't stay for the whole event.
gotcha. Gotcha.
So
Um,
yeah.
nice, nice. So you said Dean Castle, Gary Con.
Green Dragon Fest is another one that's very
Hmm.
similar to D&D in a castle. That's run by Baron DeRop from Dungeon Masterpiece. I've been doing that since that's brand new. This will be year 3, and I was there the first 2 years. I won't be there this year because that lands on my 50th birthday. So I'm having
Oh, happy birthday,
a
man.
huge nerd celebration at the house in 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. Nice. So it's
In
coming
two
up.
weeks, yeah.
That's
Everybody
awesome,
who's
dude.
listening, open invitation. You're more than welcome to come on down.
DM the address. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm turning 40 next year, so big birthday for me.
Yeah.
Getting old, man.
Yeah, half a century.
Yeah. Um, what age did you start playing D&D?
I want to say 14ish.
Okay.
Now, this is what's wild. I used to paint minis back in the day when I was 14, man, but they were
Mhm.
the real minis, the metal ones. They probably had
Computer,
lead in
like,
them.
yeah.
I still have them. They're on the shelf here. I never got rid of them. And then
Oh,
once I
that's
built
sick.
this room, I unpacked them. I'm like, dude, it was meant to be. I'm like, are you kidding me? There's about a dozen of them, all solid metal dragons and all kinds of crazy shit on that shelf over there.
That's really cool. Hey, if you wouldn't mind, like after we do this, if you want to send me some pictures, I would love to see them.
Oh yeah.
That'd be cool.
Now they're not, world class paint jobs, but at
Oh,
14,
dude,
15
no, I
years
just
old, it was what I can do at the time.
no, I just want to see them because I like looking at the older stuff too, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I everything I paint is like 3D printed now, you know. That's the
Right.
the
Right.
standard
Right.
these days, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, the old school like pewter lead ones, as you said.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Man, I remember going to the mall. The game store at the mall would, they'd have all the box sets, the individual mini. Man, oh my god, that was the shit back in the day.
Yeah, that's so dope. Um, do you have like a local gaming store you want to shout out? You have a
Uh,
regular place that you go to for older needs?
Absolutely. Tower Games. I am very connected with them. I've done a couple tables for them. I do their build outs. They're maniacs, man. They're going on store number 5. They're opening
Oh
up,
wow.
and I've pretty much did all their build outs on all their stores. Meaning, once they get the lease and they need to move some stuff around, move a wall, add a bathroom, or whatever, they call me up, Mike. Hey, can you do this? And I do my best to take care of them and squeeze it in. Last not 2 Septembers ago, I was in Boca Raton, Florida. They opened up Tower 4. I spent 2 weeks down there working on that store. So it's fun. But yeah, they're a bunch of good guys. They're sponsoring our charity event as well.
That's really cool. Um, there's a good amount of gaming stores on Long Island. I just haven't been to a lot of them, but I do have to shout out Gotham Games in West Babylon. It's our local
Nice.
spot. Guys
Gotham
are
Games. That's perfect for
Gotham
New York.
Games. Yeah, it's a pretty dope name. He has a decent amount of D&D related stuff and paints. I mean, a lot of the gaming stores focus on a lot of like TCG stuff though, you know, Magic, Pokemon. So
Right.
they're big on that, but you know, if I'm running low on a paint and I need like a single pot of something, he's my guy.
Cool.
Um, yeah, I was gonna say also, every time you like attend these conventions, like what are people looking for these days? They want all the bells and whistles on these tables. Like they're looking for, you know, old school, just like nice design. I mean, what are you seeing like most of the people that are purchasing your tables looking for?
it's it's 50-50. This current one I'm doing is very minimal. He didn't want a topper. He didn't want the arcane rune plaques, which are the rune plaques on the side of the post that light up as well. He
Hmm.
just wanted them basic. So it's one of my more, I don't want to say simpler builds, but not as complicated. But then some people are like, what are your upgrades? And then I start telling them, yep, give me that, give me this, give me that. And the 10,000 tables now, dollar tables now the $15,000 table because they wanted everything, the best wood, torches, and the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw your I think it's like your newest design, right? That you actually had at your booth this year.
That's not the newest. It is definitely one of the
Okay.
newer ones, but the
Newer.
faction, yep, that's our war game / board game table,
Yeah, I think
which
you had
we're
like a whole
making one
bunch.
for Drew.
Yes, he has told us, and I was like, when I'm getting an invite to your place to play a game on that thing.
Yep, that's starting soon. Couple weeks, we're gonna start that. We have delivery scheduled for May 30th, the end of May.
Nice, awesome, awesome. Um, yeah, I was gonna say, I probably already know the answer to this question going on the convention route. But what was the most like memorable or surprising reaction you've had at a convention? I would assume it's probably the Luke encounter, right?
Man, I gotta tell you, there's so many like starstruck moments. Gen Con 2022 was a big one. That's when the signatures on the table really started. Um, uh, Becca Scott, do you know who she is from Chaosium? She was
No,
just
not
standing over
familiar.
the table, and I'm like, "Oh my god, you're Becca Scott!" I'm like, "Come here, please sign my table." So she was super stoked, and she signed it. But yeah, there's a lot of those silly interactions. Anjali Bhumani, that was a huge, that was really cool. That happened because they all live in LA with Todd Stashwick, and she was at Todd's house playing on the table, on my table, which is Todd's table. And she was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" And Todd had FaceTime me with her there, and that's how she first, met me, on the phone. And but then at that point, but now, like when I see her out in the wild at cons, I can approach her, say hi, hello, hug, and whatever. We BS for a few minutes, and it's pretty wild because she is a rock star in the industry for sure.
Nice, nice. Um, what are some other big names you got on that table? The signatures.
Oh God. Joe Manganiello, Tom Morello, the Dungeon Dudes, Alicia Marie Body, um, Professor DM, like a lot of YouTubers, Kelsey Dion,
Hmm.
Shadow Dark, she's freaking another rock star. Um, a lot of the D&D in the Castle DMs, B. Dave Walters, Elisa Teague, Jeremy Cobb. There's a bunch.
That's sick. Tom Morello. I'm a huge Tom Morello fan. I mean, Rage Against the
Yeah,
Machine, dude, so sick.
that's what we grew up on.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, why the hell not? I'll ask you. What are some of your big bands? Like, what kind of music you into?
Oh, oh man, back in the day, we did a lot of the classic shit like Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth. I love the '80s hair bands. I love Motley Crue, Poison.
Hell yeah, man.
That whole route for sure, dude. My music taste now is getting so friggin' bizarre. I'm all over the map. I'm listening to new metal reggae combo. I found this Appalachian channel, just strumming guitar, sitting on the port. I'm all over the place with my
Hell yeah,
music.
dude. I mean, I tell people that the only genre of music that hasn't really, gotten into my brain is country. I'll hear a few songs here and there that I'm like, oh, it's catchy, that's nice, but I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. I'm
Yeah.
more of a classic rock metal kind of guy. Born and raised on it.
One thing I am not is trendy music. Like I hate the radio. I hate listening to. I don't ever put the radio stations on. It's my
Yeah,
phone and whatever in my playlist and whatever I put on. Like I can't do it.
it's also funny that like growing up, my stepdad, or was my stepdad or my dad, I forget. One of them was super into talk radio, and I used to hate it. Getting in the car, just hearing that freaking AM radio,
Yeah,
talking
10 wins.
politics, or even I'm not even a big sports guy, so like even like throwing a game on the radio was like
All right.
shit sucks. Like I want to hear some good tunes.
Right.
But so nowadays I'm doing the exact thing that I thought I would never do is I'm like all about podcasts, like talk radio basically. But at
Yep.
least, it's stuff that I'm interested in and that
Right.
I want to
It's
hear.
topics you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's, some crazy UFO scientist or scientist is a loose term, but or just some like cool celebrity or musician like just shooting the shit with somebody. I love it, and that's
Yeah.
what I mostly throw on when I'm painting.
Yep.
Because I don't have to focus like on watching something. Just listening and just vibe out.
Yep.
Um now were you besides obviously being into D&D, were you like a gamer, like video gamer
I
growing up?
was absolutely hell yeah. I loved Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy was and Zelda. Zelda was huge. I'm like
Hell
talking way
yeah.
back the original NES Zelda. on,
Yeah,
on,
my first Zelda was Nintendo 64, Ocarina of Time, which is still my number one video game of all time.
yeah,
I have such like fond freaking memories of playing that game as a kid. So awesome. Um, yeah, I was gonna say, do you still game at all or?
I don't, and the reason I don't is because I don't have enough time to do the crap I need to be doing. And if I get involved in Baldur's Gate, forget it. Nothing's gonna get done. So I have to stay away from them. Like I can't, I can't touch them, unfortunately.
No, I hear you. I mean, like my gaming these days is it's one game, and if it takes me a couple days to beat, a couple weeks, or a couple months, I'm just gonna be focused on that game because I don't have time to be jumping all over the place and playing like a ton of different games. Um, I think I'm on my like fourth or fifth playthrough of Baldur's Gate. It's just the game is so damn good that like because you
That's
could just
crazy.
you could just make whatever you want. It's virtual D&D, and it's fun as hell. And I play with the other guys from Crit One and Done, and we just mess around. So it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
We all say we'd love to play D&D itself way more often, but it's just a lot easier to just hop on the computer or the PlayStation and play Baldur's Gate than it is to actually get four people in a room and commit 3-4 hours to sitting down. But
All right. Yep. Yep.
when we do, we always have a blast though. We're playing next week, our next session, I think. I don't even know, but we try to play at least. Um, yeah, I know, Inked. I would love to play D&D every single day too. That would be amazing, but it's not going to happen. Especially having a 6-year-old, and my wife already hates that I've converted half our basement into a literal dungeon. So, um,
That's what it's funny you say that. The room behind me is I guess the living room of the addition. And she's like, "You keep your shit in this room." Well, it's kind of starting to creep down the hallway to my right here.
uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna get choked out soon. It's coming.
Um, I'm assuming just from you saying that she's not into it.
No, she's not. She supports me, but she does not dabble in the art of Dungeons and
the,
Dragons
the,
by
the
no means.
arts. Yeah, I was gonna say my wife's like surprisingly like when we started watching Game of Thrones together back in the day, she was super into it. Like still watches, House of Dragon when it comes back on. She watched Night of the Seven Kings with me. She loves it, but zero interest in any of this.
Yeah,
And I
that's the same with my wife. She loves Lord of the Rings. She loves Harry Potter. She loved Game of Thrones. Loves all that shit, but she just no interest in sitting and like I don't know. It's just too much. She likes games, but just quick ones. The shut the box and Uno, and they're just quick things, but not. You're not getting her to play D&D. It's not happening. She's giving me the finger right now as we're talking.
Yeah, mine. I don't even know if she hopped on the stream. Thanks, Loopy. You know who I'm talking about. But yeah, usually when I'm doing either D&D or these sessions, she's just up in the bedroom watching some bullshit reality show. Yeah, I
All
said
right.
it.
My
Love
wife's
Island sucks.
she's one of those true crime people watching Dateline. Dateline, I think that's it. My wife's a Dateline nut.
I mean, hey, I love the serial killer documentaries, and whenever I say that, I'm like, does that sound okay when I say things like that? Hey,
Yeah,
they're interesting. I mean,
right. It's a
I don't know.
documentary.
I'm a huge history geek. I don't know about yourself, but like I'm super into like history and stuff in general.
I can appreciate it. I'm not going to say I'm a huge delver into history, but I do enjoy a good documentary on certain aspects of history for sure. So yeah, I can get behind that.
Oh yeah, and I mean, tying into all this, D&D medieval stuff. Like I love medieval history, which is really cool. It's funny too because when we did our last table for our one shot at LITTE, it was the Castle Siege. So even though I wasn't DMing that part of the one shot, because what we did was we actually rotated DMs on that too. So I our buddy Mike was first DM. then I was the second, and Austin was the third. So he ran the castle siege, but just to back him up and like when we were like talking about the whole process, I did like a ton of research on like castle sieges and stuff, and that stuff fascinates me. Like that shit actually happened. Like
Hell yeah.
people were actually tossing boiling oil, and I mean, it's not
That is
I shouldn't be making light of warfare and killing, but it's just super
right.
fascinating.
It's insane. It really is what they used to do. It was a barbaric time for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever personally handled any real medieval weapons or swung a sword, but shit, man, give those guys credit. you know, crazy intense man-to-man combat back then.
Heck yeah.
Um yeah, going back to what you said, I'm sorry I don't recall his name, but you said you have a buddy that does the medieval MMA.
Yep, that's Spencer Waddell from Simply Samurai. That's Simply Samurai is his Instagram handle. But yeah, but
Yeah,
that's what he
I want to check him
does.
out.
That's his I guess career is the best word.
Mhm.
Dude, he's going to the world championships in Denmark the week before Gen Con, and he is one of the players at Gen Con. I'm like, bro, you better come home with your face intact. It's like because you gotta be on camera.
That's funny. I'm looking him up real quick. I want to give him a follow so I don't forget. Um, does he have like a weapon of choice when he goes into battle?
I'm sure he does, but I don't know what that is. You'd have to ask him.
Gotcha. I just gave him a follow. I'll definitely
Cool.
definitely check out his stuff. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not like I don't follow that whole world, but every time I watch the stuff, it's awesome.
It's insane. It's intense, and it's wild to me too that he's going to the world championship, and he's already fought all over the world in other countries and stuff doing it. So
hmm
it's pretty wild. It's cool.
Um, and I apologize if I'm jumping like all over the place with any of the questions I'm asking you.
No,
It's
you're
just
fine.
kind of how my brain works, and also I didn't follow the script exactly that I had prepared for myself. But
That's how it
um,
always goes, right?
yeah, whatever, because also between me saying things, you saying things, I was like, oh, he already said that. We already talked about this.
Right. What you say something and it squirrels me, it leads me, my brain somewhere else. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Um, but like talking about going back to like the actual design of your tables, are you sourcing a lot of stuff domestically or internationally? Like what talk a little bit about that.
As far as where the tables are going,
No, like your materials. The actual wood you're using and
um, well, yeah, I guess some of the woods are exotic. I haven't done a table in sapele. Sapele is African mahogany. That's what the table behind me is. It's a gorgeous wood. It's so cool. It's got a ribbon grain striping to it. It's mahogany, so mahogany is just badass to begin with. Um, Zebra wood is another exotic. I believe that's African as well. But yeah, some of the hardwoods they do come from all over the place. But other than that, um, I say domestic cabinet grade plywoods, but I got to tell you, I even think they're coming from Ecuador or Mexico. Like I don't think a lot of them are produced here anymore.
no, that's cool that like you work with all these different materials and all these different like wood types. I can't say I'm super knowledgeable about it, but I was looking up some of the stuff that you're using, and I was like, some of this stuff is like pretty exotic and pretty.
Pretty pretty. I like that.
Um, oh, and I totally forgot to show off some of the other pictures you had sent me. Let me just delve into them real quick.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so he sent me some pictures of the shop, man in action right here, which is pretty dope. Um, Also sent me some pictures from D&D Castle. That table setup is awesome. I mean, the venue itself looks amazing too. I was gonna say, but tell me a little bit about like the setup there at D&D Castle. Like, I'm not familiar with it, but you know, it's literally like a redesigned castle. Like, what are we talking?
Oh no, it's a fairly newer castle, and like you hear castle and you think hundreds of years old. This one's 30 years old, I think. It was just a dude with a lot of money who wanted to build a castle.
Yeah.
It's pretty much how that happened. And he
Yeah.
rents it out. It's a hotel. Like you can go on the website and rent a room there at any point. It's got a lot of cool ghost history there, dude. It was on Ghost Hunters, that place. There's a Civil War cemetery there. I personally
Oh,
did
100% haunted then.
I did the midnight ghost walk there on that. So it's pretty wild. There's some pretty cool, creepy ass stories coming out of that place.
That's crazy. I wouldn't, I wouldn't say I'm a believer, but I would just say I've never personally had any encounter myself. But
Yeah,
I'm not denying it exists though.
you're not a believer until it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Do I deny it exists? I don't know. I think aliens exist. I would love to see one day.
Dude, there's no way in hell we're the only ones in this freaking. There's no way. There's no way.
And when they come down and see your weather dragon tables, they're gonna be like, "Teach us your ways."
They're gonna go.
Yeah, I was gonna say also, just to ask you in general. So I know you had mentioned some of the games you played, but what are what movies inspired your designs or like just your general like nerdiness? And I don't mean that in an insult way.
No, dude. We're all freaking nerds. Oh man. Again, as far as any pop culture or mainstream thing influencing the table, I can't say there's any. Like again, it's just the whole medieval fantasy vibe in general. Um, I love the shit out of Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, and the typical, that kind of fantasy stuff. But
Star Wars guy at all?
what's that?
Star Wars guy at all?
Yes, I actually like people like Star Wars, Star Trek, Ford, Chevy. Yeah, I'm Star Wars. Sorry, Todd. Star Wars over Star Trek.
Yeah, it's funny. Growing up, my dad was a big Star Trek guy. Didn't hate Star Wars. He actually, rest in peace to my dad. He took me to see Star Wars like for the first time when they re-released all the special editions in what was that, like 97, I think.
Wow.
Um, Showing my age there. But yeah, so that's got me into Star Wars. I've been like a lifelong Star Wars guy. The only tattoo I have is Star Wars related. Um, but my dream personally, with this whole world here, of TTRPGs and D&D, and I've talked to the guys about this, and I know Mike's not super keen on it because Mike is not a big Star Wars guy. Um, and I feel like Austin said that like he doesn't really want to delve into any other genres except like D&D slash medieval fantasy kind of stuff. But I would love to run like a Star Wars D&D game. I think that would be absolutely insane.
That would
Um,
be cool.
I've actually done the research, and there is like a whole system that already exists, and I believe it's free to access. Like you can get the whole rule set and everything. And I can't recall the name of it offhand, but yeah, it's a pretty much total conversion of D&D into Star Wars.
Cool.
Only thing that sucks about that though is that then I'd have to start purchasing Star Wars minis in terrain and delving down that money cesspool,
And X-wings and TIE fighters and
Hell yeah.
Millennium Falcons.
It is funny though because you had mentioned that you kept the minis that you painted as a kid. I kept all my Star Wars toys. They're actually in the room behind me, like in boxes.
Wow.
And I had besides like the actual like action figures themselves, I remember playing with like it was like a step. Do you remember Micro Machines?
What is it? Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a step above that. I think they called it like Action Fleet series or something, but they were slightly bigger than Micro Machines, but it was still like miniature level, like Star Wars toys. And I still have all that stuff, and I feel like it's pretty on scale with like D&D miniatures. So it could work, potentially to use that stuff like on the table, but I definitely don't have enough. So probably have to
Right.
supplement with a lot of crap, but I don't know if we'll ever go that route, but it's a dream, maybe one day.
Cool.
I was gonna say, have you played anything else besides D&D, like TTRPG wise? Like, have you delved into like Cthulhu or?
I've Pathfinder. I did a little bit of Pathfinder 2E, the newer Pathfinder.
Okay.
That's about it. I did a quick stuck my toes in the water with Shadow Dark at Gary Con. What else? I got it. Yeah, that's just about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would love to try some of these other games. But oh, and Drew said you played in Ordo.
Oh yes.
But I was gonna say,
Is
yeah, I would love to try these other games. It's just it's time, you know. We barely have enough time to play D&D, let alone like these other games. But I'm definitely interested. I've definitely done, the research and seen what they're all about. Just we'd have to find the time to sit down and actually play them.
somebody was supposed to come to my house for my birthday weekend and teach me WASDEC, but he can't come now.
I wonder who that is. Wonder what kind of jerk that is. I'm just kidding. I'm
Some
sure he has a good reason.
some
Um,
butthole.
um, yeah, I was gonna ask you too. How did you meet Drew? What's the story behind that?
Mysticon, California, almost 2 years ago,
Oh
about a
wow,
year
not
and a
even not
half
even
ago.
local, huh? All the way out in Cali. Nice.
Yeah, we both actually my reason for going out there, the only reason I went out there, one of my customers out in Cali had moved from some part of LA to another to Venice Beach or whatever, and the movers jacked his table up.
Ooh.
He paid for extra insurance that if anything happened to it, full replacement. So there was about a 6 month back and forth battle with insurance companies, what it's going to cost for me to go out there and repair the crap. And so they finally caved and gave him the replacement value. And he's like, Mike, I don't know what to do with this table. If you want to come get it, whatever, it's come take it, but let me know, or else I got to figure something out. So this was right around Mysticon. So my wheels started turning. I'm like, if I fly out there, the table really wasn't that bad. I've seen the pictures. I'm like, I could bring a couple things to make it presentable, bring it to Mysticon. So now it's at a convention for 2 days, pack it up and send it home. So at least you know what I'm saying? I'm taking advantage of my time out there. I'm very efficient in that in that sense. So I took full advantage of all of that. And Drew had his connections with Morgan, who was running Mysticon at the time. And however that happened, that brought him out there. And that's how we first met.
Yeah, I was gonna say our meeting with Drew was very simple. It was holy shit, that table's fucking sick. Who's this dude? Just walked up and like,
Nice.
hey, you're from Massapequa. Cool, man. We're local guys. Um, yeah, it's funny, just real quick. So Crit One and Done is comprised of myself, Mike, who's literally my next door neighbor. I know I sent a picture to you before. We were
Yep.
literally chilling in his yard. And where did I put them? Excuse me for like, oh, I left them upstairs. Never mind. But we actually had met someone. Shout out to Inked Onyx on Instagram. I don't know your first name. I'm sorry, but you are
It
awesome.
happens.
You are awesome. She sent us custom designed dice towers for each one of us. And we literally just got them. I was actually hanging out in Mike's backyard before, and all of a sudden his wife comes inside with like these 3 Amazon boxes. What the hell is this? And I'm like, it doesn't look like it was sealed by Amazon. And that was all our dice towers. So they arrived, we ripped them open, and I was like, these are not only awesome, but they're way bigger than I thought they would be, and in a good way. I'm like, these things are sizable. So I
That's
mean,
cool.
anybody watching, check our socials. We're gonna be posting them soon. It probably will take me a while to paint them because they're just so massive, and I have to paint 4 of them. Um, but we're super stoked on those. But yeah, just like meeting people in this community and then having this connection with people, mutual respect, mutual benefit to each other, is sick. It's
Yeah.
great.
It's
Um,
it's wild the relationships that are forged through all of this. Because again, me and Drew, I talk to Drew pretty much every day, or minimum 5 out of 7 days a week. Like that's how much we talk. And this is just from our initial meeting not even a year and a half ago.
That's awesome. Yeah, Drew's good people. I don't know him super well. I hope that changes. I'd like to keep knowing him. You're a cool guy. um, but yeah, I was gonna say that he's definitely good people. And yeah, I was gonna say just going back to what I was saying real quick. So Mike, next door neighbor, his younger brother is Matt, and then he's known Austin since like I think he like the fifth grade, maybe even before that. So, and we all live in the same town pretty much, so it's just convenient.
Cool.
Now most of the guys you play with are these like childhood friends or like neighbors or
The getting back into it, um, definitely not childhood friends. One was my son. Um, I got a couple groups and games with his buddies, so the whole high school kid thing. We did a couple of sessions of that. Um, my buddy Rick that I met through work years ago, we got him to come down, and he brought Matt Gatto, which is the guy who I told you that kind of nudged me to say, "Hey, you really need to show this to the world, Mike. Don't keep this to yourself." So it was a hodgepodge of people, and then Deborah and Josh. Deborah was Matt's daughter. Josh was her husband. So it was just one kind of led to the other. Hey, didn't they all play D&D? And I'm super stoked. Matt moved out to Texas. He used to live near me. Obviously, he used to come to the house and play. Um, he's coming up. I don't know if he's coming for my birthday, but he's going to be in the area on the day of my party. So I am going to see him after years. So I can't wait to give him a big old hug and just because he still follows me and all the crap I'm doing and
that's
he's
awesome.
called a lot of it. So yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still love my childhood friends to death, but they have zero interest in this. So
Right. Right.
everybody's all over the place. But what's going on these days, and then a lot of us have families and careers and whatnot. Um,
Yeah, it's real, man. It's not easy. And plus you got to remember I moved away from all my childhood friends. Like I've been
oh,
in
true,
North
yeah, yeah,
Carolina for 13 years now. So yeah, so I don't have that real connection anymore.
yeah. No, I hear you. Um, yeah, I was gonna say that. I don't know if it takes necessarily a special breed of person to commit to this stuff, but um, who's ever involved is give him credit. you know, it's a commitment. To play a game like this. It's
Oh,
it's
it is.
time, it's money, but you know what? It's a fucking blast, dude. Honestly, like,
It it is. And what's wild is like, you go back 6 years ago when I started this mess, and if somebody would have told me, hey, in 5 or 6 years, you're going to be buddies with Luke Gygax, you're going to be running charity games, you're going to be hosting, you're going to be on stage, I would have been like, yeah, okay, but it's happening, it's real. So my PSA to everybody listening is, if you're in the industry and you're making stuff and you're doing something, just and it's what you love, just keep doing it, just keep going, and God only knows where it's going to go. My neighbor Robert, our thing is, after when the year's over, it's like, what's going to happen next year? Where are we going to be next year? What's going to, and it just gets crazier and crazier every year.
no, that's awesome. When we first set out to start streaming and everything, we just want to have fun. We're not trying to monetize this. We just want to bring our stories out there. Everybody check us out, and we'd love to meet people in the community. We love to collaborate with people, and it's meeting people like yourself has just been amazing. We're having a lot of fun, and we want to get more involved in the conventions and just playing more D&D.
Yeah. Dude, you got to have that fun, man, or else what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I think I can quote our buddy Matt here at Crit One and Done saying, I'm doing this until I stop having fun. When it stops
Yeah.
becoming fun, I'm gonna quit. I lost you. He left us, everyone. Hold on, let me see if I can get him back on here. Gonna start wrapping it up anyway, but definitely want to segue out. How's everybody doing, by the way? Thanks for joining us. We got Ink Game Master. We got Team Drew's Basement. We got Reps and Respawns. Heavy hitters in here. I'm well. I'm well. I'm a little tired. A long day. Um, and I got these 4 new dice towers that just came in the mail that like I really just want to paint like right this second, but it's not gonna happen. Actually, I have a long day of eating new food tomorrow. I'm doing like a food crawl with a buddy of mine. Looking forward to that. I hope his power or something didn't go out. I mean, he hasn't answered me on Instagram. And it was a little stormy here earlier in New York, but I don't know what the weather down in Carolina is looking like. Give him another minute or two. If he can't hop on, hopefully everything's okay. But yeah, if everybody heard it about his upcoming charity stream, definitely want to check that out. I don't recall when he said it was, but I'm sure we could get the info out there. I want to say August 1st. Drew, you still here? When is that happening? Yeah, we had a guest on, one of the guests that I had interviewed, Dungeon Master Kier, Dungeon Mother Kier, excuse me, from Malaysia. And I know when she was on, they had a big storm by her, and our power literally went out midstream. But luckily came back on. Now she says, unfortunately, in Malaysia they have a lot of power outages. I don't know what the power grid in Carolina is like. Probably better than Malaysia. Hold on, let's see. Did you hop back on? Oh, here he is. Okay, hold on. 1 second, folks. Bringing him back on. There we go.
Hola.
Hello, sir.
My phone died.
Oh, your phone died? Nice.
I'm the worst.
No, it's all good, dude. I thought I was telling the guests here that we had another guest on that she's actually from Malaysia, and they have a lot of power outages there. So she actually lost power midstream. But it popped up pretty quick. But I thought maybe that was the case down there in Carolina.
No, dude, we live in we're part of the United States. We have power.
Yeah, no shade on Malaysia, but I don't think the power grid is as good over there. Yeah, it was a little stormy up here in New York earlier, but it was cool. We got a double rainbow over the town, which is pretty dope. You don't see those too often. Got a nice picture of that.
Cool.
Yeah, I was literally telling everybody I was getting ready to wrap it up, but I obviously wanted to bring you back on and like close it out. But basically, I wanted to ask when are we going to see you next? What's your next big event? Is it the charity stream?
That's the next big one. Yeah, I do have D&D in the Castle a month prior to that, but that's low key. That's not a convention. I'll make some posts about it, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty much a private event. In other words, right?
Right. Yeah, for the most part. But but Gen Con and this charity event, holy friggin' crap, man! This is it's going to be a game changer, pun intended.
And when is that again?
August 1st.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I said it before, but I wasn't positive. And then we'd love to promote that for you if when the time comes. Let us know. We'd like to get the word out there, and we'll definitely be tuning in. And
cool.
if anybody wants, I'm assuming you guys are taking donations and whatnot.
Actually, we've already raised $4,500 in sponsors already, but we're still open for sponsors. So I noticed all your sponsors, so I don't know if they're listening or whatever. So if anybody's interested, it's a pretty good deal. There's 4 tiers ranging from $250 to $1,000. We're doing a physical program, 1,250 copies. We got a website. Your logo would go on the website with a clickable link. All sponsors are going to get shout out on stage at the beginning and thank you at the end of the show. Once the video goes up on YouTube, all the links will be put up in the description on YouTube. Even social media posts between me and Spencer. We're going to start putting all the sponsors, tagged, at the bottom of that too, so they can see it. We are in talks with Gen Con for them to handle our ticket sales and be put in their event catalog. And also they would help promote the event as well. So there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on that in that regard. And Luke is, now that he's working with Wizards of the Coast again, has already put the bug in their ear. Wizards of the Coast may possibly be sponsoring our event as well. So that's awesome. Beyond sick. Like, what? So nice. It's pretty wild. Like I said, Luke Gygax is running the game. We have Spencer Waddell, Tank Tolman, Alicia Marie Body, and Professor DM as confirmed 4 players, and we have 2 iffies, and we're still kind of trying to lock in 2 more. But Kelsey Dion is one of those, and so yeah, so we're pushing.
Yeah, it's great. And thank you to Ink Game Master. She just posted up
Charlie. Charlie's one of my boys too. He's local to here.
No, it's awesome. I was going to say that, yeah, can't wait to tune into that. And then what is your convention schedule for the rest of the year looking like?
D&D in the Castle in June, Gen Con in July, August. And that's it. I tried for PAX Unplugged, but they gave me the middle finger again. So whatever. They're impossible, man. This is 4 years in a row, and I get the same stupid freaking rejection email.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, look, maybe one year they'll finally come to their senses. I would say keep doing it.
Dude, and I don't, and not that was name dropping, but I put all my street cred in there too. Everything that I'm doing, the people that I'm working with, and they don't care. They don't care. You must have to sacrifice babies or something in order to get in there. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but holy shit.
Yeah, Jesus, got to run some kind of like blood ritual or something. Yeah,
I'm not part of that cool kids club, apparently.
Well, listen, Mike, this has been awesome to sit down with you. Super stoked to see what you guys got coming up. And dude, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I've been on it. Best midlife crisis ever.
Nice. Good way of putting it. Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you in Philly in January because yes. I think we're going to be there.
We'll be there.
And then you doing LITT again next year?
It's most likely, but I'm not going to lie. It's going to be tough. We're doing Page, Lit, and then I was possibly toying with taking Gary Con off the circuit if I got into PAX Unplugged. But I didn't, so I may stick with Gary Con for one more year. The problem, not that there's anything wrong with Gary Con. The only problem with Gary Con is it's so damn far. It's so far. It's a 19 to 20 hour ride.
Yeah, that's rough. That's not close. They're not around the corner.
No.
But yeah, we'd love to see your stuff out there. Do you want to shout out anything in particular about Weather Dragon besides the charity stream in general?
We're on Instagram at the Weather Dragon. Our website is theweatherdragon.com. So check us out, give us a follow, all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you to our sponsors, WizardWorks, LR Terrain, Designs by Moonshine, and Geek Haven. Thank you for supporting us. Mike, it's been great. And Yeah, we hope to see your tables out there. They're fucking
Yes,
awesome.
sir. Talk soon, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And don't forget, everybody, you can see this whole episode on YouTube when we post it. I'll be uploading it right after we get off here. And check us out next week. I think next Friday, I believe, if not mistaken. Regardless, we'll be posting it on our Instagram. But our next session of our campaign, Resolution of Belmont, we'll be live streaming it. Hope you guys are
Awesome.
there. Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Thanks for having
Have a
me.
good night. Absolutely. Take care, Mike.
Bye-bye.